I'll give you the example of a Scottish doctor, and I won't do a Scottish accent. She's called Dr. Elsie Inglis. She goes along to the authorities at the outbreak of war and says, right, I'm Dr. Elsie Inglis. I run the Scottish Women's Hospitals, completely staffed by women. I've got doctors, nurses, orderlies, beds, equipment. Where do you want us? The reply, and I quote, go home and sit still. Because war is a man's job. It's no place for ladies. There's an idea, perhaps, that we'd all faint at the sign of trouble and not be able to cope with mopping fevered brows and so on. So this attitude at first must be quite galling. But ladies, there is something you can do for the war effort. Can you knit? No, really, can you? Hands up, who can knit? Right, get your needles out. Women, you are going to be knitting for victory, for the Red Cross, for the troops. You will be getting the ladies' magazines. We've got so many cheap magazines now, mass publications. Woman's World, Woman's Weekly. We've got the Ladies' World Fancy Workbook here. And they are all full of knitting, knotting, crochet patterns. You name it, you can make it. You will be making balaclavas for seamen. They often get overlooked in history, don't they? The merchant seamen and sailors. But they have a terrifically difficult task and freezing cold weather, a lot of cases, to deal with. One of the hats I like best for sailors, it's a balaclava hat with a scarf combined. Just flip it round. You can knit mufflers, chest protectors, kidney protectors. You've got to keep your kidneys warm. I don't know why, but you do. You can be knitting mittens and gloves. One of the more sinister sides of war I have here, this is a pattern here, a crochet pattern, for the new rifle glove. Looks like a pair of mittens, but the thumb and forefinger on the right hand are missing, so that you can fire your Lee Enfield 303 rifle with impunity. If you're left-handed, you're stuffed. So we are also, what else are we knitting? Oh my goodness, all sorts. Oh, what is the thing that we are all knitting? Socks, yes. Now, oddly, to my knowledge, and I am a bit of a swatty expert, but correct me if I'm wrong, no socks survive used from the trenches. Oddly. So we have here to show you a replica pair. They have been knitted, however, from an original pattern, 1917 servicemen's socks. What do you think of those chaps? Tell you what, 4 needles you need for, who's made socks? Did you make one sock and then think, oh wait, you want 2?
Grandmother did the other one.
Oh, your grandmother, that's cheating. Well, I'm going to pass one round. If I can start with you, madam, and your lovely ladies with their hats. I'm glad to see somebody's dressed for the occasion. Do please zigzag the sock around. Have a look. It was knitted by a friend's mother and then blocked. Very difficult to knit socks. And so women, you are going to be knitting with gusto. On the omnibus, in committee meetings. Yes, sometimes the WI complained that the knitting was so loud they couldn't hear the speaker. I never have that problem. You will be knitting in your lunch breaks. Schoolgirls will stop lessons to knit. And one girl turned to her mother and she said, "Mummy, do you think I will live to finish this sock?" Must have been quite dreary, mustn't it? This is as close as we could get to the original khaki colour that's required. It's not really the olive colour we associate it with now, it's more of a curry colour. Now, one of the things about knitting is it's seen as a woman's job, and therefore the cartoons in the media tend to mock it a little bit. Oh, old ladies knitting. And Punch cartoon has a field day with the sock knitters.